The final chapter, Chapter 93, Sly. 5 days have passed since we did that crazy but somehow successful ambush of the real puppet masters of this whole charade, and since our kiss. A fair bit has happened. Branwell's parents were injured to the point where they both were taken to the hospital for many fractured bones. For a while, they will be unable to work or look after Branwell, who, thanks to the magic of my dad, has been able to be exonerated and pardoned. Branwell told us he'll probably go back home to London, but said he'd feel better if someone was with him for a bit, not feeling safe by himself with all the attention this has gotten. And McSweeney and Thornell said they were up to the task. After declaring that, the Walrus and Ogre revealed they'd been talking, and they were going to start dating. They kissed in front of us to prove it. It was really heartwarming, especially after I shortly after saw Bentley and Penelope doing the exact same, causing me to think about the sensation of Carmelita's lips against my own, still ever present in my mind. Long story short, Branwell now has 2 father figures to look after him. It became clear Branwell and McSweeney already saw each other in roles like that from their history in the prison, and I doubted Thornell would infringe on that but make it even better. Branwell's been visiting his parents and giving proper updates to them every day. I heard they're getting slowly better, plus he now has a book in the works about all he went through. In the meantime, the whole bunch of us have been staying in Paris. There's been a lot to take care of. We had the Panda King, Jing King, and the Guru fly up to further assist us if we needed them. At this point, we wouldn't be surprised if more goons in the Shadow Order came out to get us with our guards down. Fortunately, that hasn't happened. So far. With both Barclays arrested in disgrace, there was a meeting, with the Paris government of all things, as to who would be the temporary replacement warden, and Carmelita signed on for the job. Neither of us are sure it will end up being permanent, but she's effective enough at her job to really intimidate the guards, and I think maybe the fact we're together now helps them know she has devoted backup. I can't help but be full of myself sometimes. Just ask Bentley. Silvio ended up singing. The video is causing a lot of groups to advocate for him to be given life without parole, but he agreed to disclose where the commune potions are in exchange for a lighter sentence. Bentley, Murray, and I decided to go, for old time's sake as the original 3, to the place we were instructed. It ended up being in the basement of a hunting lodge out on the highway. Silvio also told us to expect some people to be really well armed, so we were prepared. We took them out before they knew what hit them and opened their basement to find an underground cavern full of the boxes of commune. The only question was how we'd get them all out of there. An amazing thing is, when Carmelita got wind of our confirmation, she didn't suggest we tell Interpol and get it under their care. I guess James and Larson's betrayal shook her and she trusts us more than regular law enforcement now. So we stored it all away, to somewhere more secure. I won't be telling you where, otherwise you'll try to steal it. We know we won't ever use it. We'll probably destroy it all once we talk it over as a proper gang. But for now, the world thinks the commune potions are out there, and someone knows where they are, and no one's telling them. And they're right, that someone being us. A big thing happening with me is, now the world knows I'm back. The story of the Barclay family betraying their honor as law enforcers has really raised eyebrows. The details are hazy, such as how I was brought back, only that I'm now known to be alive. Interpol really seems unsure what to do with me. Carmelita isn't letting any of them touch me, and this time I can stand with her on that without any deception. And hanging out all the time with our big gang, inflated even more so than when we pulled off the Cooper vault job, has made me really sad when talking about future plans. Panda King and Jing King have given hints they'll soon return home. Dimitri's expressed interest in returning for the next season of his reality diving show. Thornell has been saying even though he wants to stay with McSweeney and Branwell, he does feel an obligation to his friends in Haiti and wants to make sure they'll properly recover from the tyranny and torture they endured. All of the personal responsibilities everyone has are threatening to once again break up our big gang. But there's one thing everyone's agreed to first. Slyton Common, Asanath, Peely, and their baby have expressed they wish to go back home. After the arrest of the Barclays and everyone involved with Operation Avalanche, Raleigh's blimp was sealed by the FBI and declared to have to be taken away into Fort Knox. Time travel was seen as too dangerous a commodity to be given as a possibility to the public eye. But what they didn't confiscate was Bentley's time machine, and with Penelope's assistance, they finally almost got it working again. And if Sly Common and his family must return to their regular timeline, we're going to all go together. If our gang stays this big, we might have to expand this van a little. That would mean taking it apart and breaking Murray's heart, so it will probably never happen. Everyone comes, except Jing King, staying behind to look after our house and security. When we get out of the van, I can see it brought us to the outskirts of Slyton Commons town in Cairo. Bentley says that judging by the sun, it's about 8 in the morning. Accurate to our calculations. Yes! He hands Slyton Common, Asenath, and Peely each a small device he and Penelope made together. With a hint of how they put the time machine together and having it be solar powered so batteries are no future worry, it's apparently connected to our individual times, so now we'll know if they ever want us to visit. Thanks again for making these for us, Bentley, says Slyton Common. Yeah, as much as we do like it here, it's clear there are ways back in your time where, and when, it would be better to raise our child, adds Asenath. You know, guys, says Peely to her gang, we haven't told them about our trek across the desert yet. What happened? Asks Murray. We had to flee after the big fight, says Slyton Common simply. Things were too insane. So we hiked for 5 days that way. It's known around here as the Black Eye Voyage. I told you about it once, Sly. And it worked. We were able to find a place with a lot more peace and accessible water. With your van, I'm sure we'd be able to return there easy peasy. In fact, now that all of this makes sense, Bomani and those descendants of his must have used the transport technology of your time, made into that, what was it called, blimp, and floated across the whole desert, protected from the sun and everything, to find us. Tech is groovy, Cooper twin, says Dimitri. Slyton Common stares at the Sphinx and seems to realize something. Everyone, with or without Bomani, there's still the case of Empress Catra, and she's not the only thorn in our sandals. When the 4 of us fled after we escaped the prison, we talked about how we were abandoning our community. You didn't abandon it, says McSweeney. You just did what you could to stay safe for your child. That's how it's going to be when I write my book, says Branwell. Cool, he replies. But we talked about how once we were more well-equipped, when we made more friends, got more gear, had our son grow up enough that he could take care of himself, we were going to come back here from that safe haven and try to take down the pharaohs for good, end the slavery, create the true raccoon rebellion that apparently happened in the alternate timeline. And now, you guys are all here. He begins smiling. Haven't had any big excitement in a few days. What do you say we start the rebellion early, get some liberation happening? I look around at my gang. Everyone, even Branwell, who's more of a novice at this than we are, seems fully in. I think the faces say it all, I tell Slyton Common. Hold your horses, interrupts Dimitri. We all stop. Before we do squat, what do you say we get a little recording of the moment? Dimitri shows us a camera he has with a built-in tripod. Never knew he owned one of those. Document our big little gang before we get the party going. It's a tradition in the telly biz. And what, the party is not already started? Jokes Thornell. We all laugh. I say we start the timer, then start it up, declares the Panda King. We all figure out how to be positioned so everyone has a generally equal spot in this documentation. As I hear the beeping, counting down the seconds until the picture, I look to Bentley and Murray, to everyone else, and to Carmelita, who allows me to take her hand. I then turn back to the camera as the flash is about to go off, with a smile on my face that reads, I come from a long line of master thieves, and I'm the best my gang is the best the line has to offer.